Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Let me give you a quick recap about what we learned in our previous session. In our previous session, we learned about introduction of Revit, homepage of Revit window, how to create a new plan, drawing of different shapes, and how to create or draw in this software. With this, let's begin with our guidance session.
Let's start by developing a building plan. Okay. So first we'll create a plinth. For that, either you can use the floor option. This it's coming in the way. Okay, either you can use the floor option or the component option. Now you have to change the settings of floor and all if you are using a floor option, because you want it to be a selected depth. Okay, so let's do it with the floor option first. When you will select a type of component, on the left side you can see in the properties panel that there are a lot of type of components which you can change. Okay, and it has different type of properties which you can change or customize your component. First of all, the level on which I want to create is plinth level. Now I want to change the properties of any one type of component. You have to select edit type, go to, first of all, create a duplicate, because these things which you are already presetted in the software, you don't want to mess with them because they are the standards. So you have to make a duplicate, name it plinth. Okay, and then your duplicate will be created. Now you can do anything to this because you haven't disturbed any of the presetted elements. So now you will change the thickness to 2 feet. Okay, and then select OK and click OK. Now you can make a floor. Now there are 2-3 types. First of all, there is this boundary line option through which we have to make a boundary line. Span direction is used when you actually have a metal decks type of thing in. And then there is a slope arrow if you want to make a sloped floor. Okay, so right now we are going to make just a normal plane. So this is how we will make it, and first we'll make it and then we'll change the dimensions. So the vertical component we will be keeping as example 40 feet, and the horizontal be keeping as. Now whenever you will touch the horizontal component, it will show you the vertical distance, and the vertical component will show you the horizontal distance. This was like, sometimes it confuses people, but I think this is to make it more simplified. I will keep this as 50 or 30 maybe. Okay. So this is our plinth which we will be creating. Then press right. Now we have created this. We can view it in 3D. On the top of your screen, you will see a default 3D view option. When you will select this, you will get a 3D view of what element you have already created here. You can also check and see in the elements that if this option is on the plinth level or not. So it is exactly on the plinth level. Then again, from here in the 3D views, you can go to 3D directly. So this project browser is used to change between different type of floors and views. Okay. Now in 3D view, on the top right, you will be seeing this 3D cube. Okay. So you can align, you can change the views like front, back, left, right, top, bottom through this cube. It is a very useful thing. And also, when you will select the middle mouse button, you can move or pan as a moving object direction or view will not change. But when you will select shift plus middle mouse, then you can move around the object and its angle will also change. The angle of view you can change through shift plus middle mouse. Okay, shift plus middle mouse. And if you will wheel up, you will be zooming in, wheeling up, wheel out, you will be zooming out. Okay, so let's go to the front view. Again, go to the plinth level in which we have created this plinth. From here on the plinth level itself, we will be creating our boundary walls. To do that, we have to go to the wall component. Now there are different type of walls as well. Here in the wall component also, when you will go to the drop down menu, there are different type of walls like wall by face, structural, architectural. Right now we'll be dealing with the wall architectural only. And here there are different type of walls, of which type of walls we want to create. So generally we keep the outer walls at 8 inch and inner walls of 4-inch thickness. Okay, so 200 mm is nearly 8 inch, so we'll be creating. Now first of all, we have to keep this height. We have to select the wall height as 10 feet because our floor height is 10 feet. Then there are different type of location on which we have to create a wall. So suppose you will make it finish face exterior. So the wall will be created, your finish face will be like this. Now if I want to topple over the axis line, I will click the space bar, then it will topple over. Okay, like this. So this is how we will be creating a wall. Okay, so we'll first create external walls of 8 inch like this. Now if I want to see this in 3D, that what I have created, this is how I can do that. These are the 4 walls which we have just now created. Okay, looks good, right? So let's again go to the plinth level, and now we'll also make another wall for the internal walls. So we'll first go to duplicate. We will make it, since it's a 4-inch thick, make it 100 mm. We'll add internal in it so that is a better reference. Okay, now go to the edit, change the width to 4 inch. This is the most important step. Otherwise, if you only change the name, okay. Now first of all, we have to make our parking space. For example, we'll make it as at around 15 feet. Topple over to 10 feet, and then maybe 5 feet veranda. Okay, then we will be dealing with the internal walls. Suppose this is the living room where we want, the living room will be here and this will be the entry area. Then we will be creating a master bedroom somewhere here. On the left side will be the stairs, and then again with the same wall internal we'll create another partition here for the kitchen. We'll just extend this one. This looks better. Like this, you can even change the lengths of the walls which we have created. Extend this one to this end. This will be our kitchen. Let's make it a little big because okay. Then we will create a wash area in the back side of the kitchen. Around 6 feet wide. Okay. And maybe an attached washroom that will be around 4 feet by 5 feet. Pretty much it. Okay, so let's see in the 3D view what we have created. This is how it looks. Let's clear out some doubts before we go on further. So the first doubt which we have is, can we export a CAD file to Revit and how? Yes, we can. And there is something which I have written here as our last thing as exporting a project, in which I will be telling you how to export different type of files in Revit. So we will be taking care of that because it takes a little bit of time. So I will be taking care of that. Then the second doubt we have is, if the all 4 walls are of not similar dimensions, then how will we be creating it? Then we will be creating different walls of different dimensions, just like we did right now. We have used 2 type of walls. One is of 8-inch thickness, one is of 4-inch thickness. Just we have to create different walls of the properties which we want to create. Just like I told, we have a different type of walls, so we can just connect them through their centers or any one face that we can do. We have to just create those walls ourselves as a duplicate wall, or we can use the already available presets. That is fine with us. Then the third doubt is, can we change the dimensions of the whole room after creating walls? Yes, we can do many things. Like for example, right now I did this. Now I don't want my bedroom to be so like kitchen is very large. So now I can move the wall. I have to just click on the arrow keys. For right, the wall will move in the right, left it will move in the left. Also, if I want to check the internal dimensions, there is this modify panel. These 2 types are there to measure and align dimensions. So if I will select this one and select wall faces, so I can tell the internal dimension of this particular room. Okay, even the external dimension of this particular room, including both the walls. Okay, then I can even tell the whole length and breadth of the house which we are creating. And there are different options in this. We can make angular dimensions, radial dimensions, spot elevation. For any particular point also I can mark the elevation at what height that point is. So this is a quite handy thing, just like we had annotations in AutoCAD. So we can tell at what length and breadth we are working right now. Okay. Okay. So now we have one more doubt, that how to decide how much area should be given for kitchen, bedroom and all if we just have a plot area. So that basically comes with an experience. For example, for this 30 by 40 plot area, first of all we have to leave 15 feet and around 10 feet for the parking. Then our kitchen will be this. This is just about the experience of generally what we have seen. Sometimes it deals with the different elements. There are different type of building bylaws for different states, so that we have to study. And while we will be working, kitchen will be around like 15 by 15 or 15 by 20 sometimes. I have a very small kitchen which is around 10 by 10. So that's totally, the basic is that it shouldn't be too much. Like, it will make if this, for this structure 30 by 40, if I'll make a 20 by 20 kitchen, it will be very much, like it will like take place a lot of area in. So the all other things will be small. So according to the different type of plot size also it depends. If you have a very big plot, then definitely you can make a very big kitchen, even bigger the as the master bedroom. How to create the base, that's what we have just did. This plinth level is technically our base only. This is our base, and then different type of floors we will be creating. How to attach the structural file to architectural file in Revit, that we will be taking care at the end of the sessions, that how to export that. It's if there is any file, any type of file, doesn't mean that it's a structural or architectural or MEP. If that file supports Revit, we can like easily import it. Okay, so now let's get on with our next part. Okay, so we have created all the walls, right? Now we will start with doors. After walls we have doors, right? So when you will select the door option, there are a lot of doors which you might find. Right now there is only one door preset which is loaded, but we will find it in, this thing is irritating me. Suppose we are using this one, since it's a small structure. In AutoCAD, I remember we have to make the whole door, because it's a 2D thing, we have to make it. But here all the things are very handy and very easy to create. For example, I have created, suppose I use this door template here on this wall, just to show you how it looks. So this is how it will look, and there is this option of realistic. This is the type of views on which we will be working on. So if we'll select the wireframe, all the lines will be visible. This is when you have to align two things. I generally use this. Then we have this hidden line. This only shows the outer boundaries on which we were working. Then we have shaded and realistic. This shows exactly how elements and colors and paints we have used, and even the materials on which. So these all walls had a similar type of material, so that's why they are looking all gray. But we can change the material later, that I will show you how to do it. So this is how a door will look like. Okay, so right now here we don't want to place a door. We'll again go to the hidden line. We'll go to the plinth level. Now this was one type of door. Now if you want to load more doors, you have to go to the load family option. Okay, there will be, when you will install Revit, automatically its family templates will be installed. For that you have to go to C drive, program data, Autodesk, and RVT, whatever version you have, then IES, libraries, then India, whichever area you want, and then these are different type of preloaded elements which you can use. So right now we'll go with the doors. There are different type of doors such as curtain wall doors, flush pan doors, and garage doors, single panel overhanging. Then you have commercial doors, different type of which are used in offices and all. These are already pre-loaded in your software. I think this is around 4 to 5 GB of your software, which has these all the components. Okay. So suppose this is door which I will be using. Select enter. Then you have to select the width and height of the door which you will be using. For example, I will be using a 2 feet 9 inch, 6 feet 6 inch door. Okay. So when you will select OK, it will take a time, some moments to load, and now you can add your door. Now, just like the wall, to topple it over the axis, in the door also, if you will press space bar, it will change its orientation from left to right, interior to exterior. So if you want door to open inside the room or outside the room, you have to either you want it open to outside the room, but I prefer it inside, because if you make an outside opening room, it will like cover the space outside the room whenever it is open. So this is how we'll leave some space, and then we'll make one for kitchen. Okay. And then we'll select a smaller version of it, or for bathroom we can use only a normal door. Let's use this one, like this, 1 feet 5 inch, a smaller width because the walls are small. This side I'll give it. Okay, and same for the wash area. Okay, so if we'll go in the 3D view, our doors will look like this. Nice. Perfectly aligned. Okay.
If you like the video, press the like button and share it with your friends. And for more such informative content, please press the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.